The Everything Sequel podcast is brought to you by The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards and the Vegas Beer Guys. Mike and Tom are washing their mouths out with soap because the Everything Sequel podcast contains explicit language of the appropriately titled sequels to this franchise. My name is Michael Schantz of the How Dare You Awards. Joining me, the man begging me to run off the roof onto the chopper, Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions. Say hello, Tom.
I am the Hake. After that line, I took a 40-minute laugh break. I just went about my day chuckling to myself like Mr. Burns and the Crippled Irishman. What was I laughing about?
What was I laughing about?
Oh yes, I am the Hague. I really admire how this series can crank it all the way up to McBain, and then dial it back again and carry on with the movie.
Yeah.
And when I say McBain, I mean, of course, the Simpsons McBain, not the Christopher Walken McBain,
right.
Which I'm pretty sure is the reason why the Simpsons stopped using McBain.
Oh, like forced to?
Yeah, I think so. I think that they said you can't keep... So if you look, as the series goes on, they stop doing the McBain parodies. They stop even referring to Rainier Wolfcastle as McBain. And by the time they get to the Simpsons movie, it's Schwarzenegger, not even Rainier Wolfcastle. And I believe that was all motivated by the producers of McBain looking over their shoulder at their use of the name.
Can't people just get over themselves?
Well, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy as well, I guess, is the other part of it, that they're worried that people are going to think that's their McBain.
I feel the same way when YouTube is like, hey, we got to ban this podcast, this episode. You got music on there. I'm like, fucking hell. Mm-hmm. 18 seconds of some instrumental music. Calm down, everyone.
Speaking of unlicensed material, we're doing this podcast from San Diego, and I don't know. Oh, probably by the time this comes out, you can cut this bit out. By the time this comes out, we'll be way beyond it. Never mind. Cut that out.
Well, what were you going to say?
Well, no, I cut it. It's meaningless. You're going to have to cut that out. That's stupid.
Well, but I want to know.
Oh, well, don't put this in the episode. And I mean it, don't put this in the episode, because I forgot about the timing of it. But Cruel Jaws is being shown.
Oh, yeah.
But it'll have gone by the time we do this. Anyway, let's go back into the episode.
All right, so we're talking The Expendables 3. It's a 2014 film with 32% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I've forgotten what's the average for these movies. Is it what's the kind of
Well, the second one was the high watermark, which was what, 60?
Oh, okay, wow. This is a big drop off from that.
68% on the second one.
And this is, I can't think, where people got a bit sort of disillusioned with the series.
I guess, but...
And I understand why, but...
I don't think this is as bad as that. I don't think it's a 36% drop-off bad.
No. No. And...
You gotta respect that math.
And the, I think the process of decline starts in the movie. Like, it's not, you know...
Damn it. I think I got the math wrong.
I was going to say, I didn't want to say anything. I'm pretty sure that adds up to to a 70-something. But it's okay. It's all right. We accept bad math on this show. While we're on that topic, you going to show me the money?
I am indeed. Look at you.
Yeah. I jumped on your mistake as a segue. And for
You
this
came in early, though.
for this well
I said we
yeah, but
normally do
you
the
haven't given
director
you
first.
haven't given me a direct answer on whether we do the director first or not. And then you mock me if I don't come in until you've done the director.
I said usually the director first.
Okay, usually the director first. Next time I'll remember to let you.
That's all right. We could go to Money Corner.
Yeah. It's not my fault that the format of this segment is all over the place. Not
This movie had a budget of $80 million. Hey, don't step on me. I got a budget of $80 million here. An opening weekend of $15.8 million. In the USA, only $39.3 million. But then the world pitched in, because in the world, $214.6 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think
the world likes these movies, but way more than we do.
Yeah, and I think probably the fact that there are more sports people in this movie probably helped that too, because that gives it it gives it an international appeal too. You know, in those corners of the world where they maybe don't know American movies, but they've heard of American athletes.
They've watched Ronda Rousey beat someone up in a
Victor Ortiz.
Octagon.
You know, he was
sure,
and that's another bone I have to pick with the movie, is that there is a difference when you recast action stars who started as actors first and then became known for action. You can't just recast that with sports people who went into acting and expect the same like level of quality. And I think that's a fundamental misunderstanding of this second act recast of the movie, shall we say?
This movie is directed by Patrick Hughes. I don't have a lot of films for him.
That's
I
a
have
shame.
something called Red.
I like his work based on this.
Well, you're a liar. I'm going to prove that you're a liar.
What? Why am I a liar?
Just hang on. He directed something called Red Hill, which I don't know or remember.
Got one of those in my pants right now.
He directed The Hitman's Bodyguard and Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Okay, I don't know either of those movies.
Oh, see those.
I'm aware that Jason Statham is involved, but
no, not Statham.
No,
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Is Statham not in at least one of those movies? I'm pretty sure he's in the second one.
In the second one, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't want to look it up.
No, you just don't want me to rewrite.
All right, I'll look it up.
I knew it. You're so easy to bait.
Such a terrible title. Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
But purposefully so, right? I mean, I think it's on the...
I hope so.
Cook, the thief, the wife, and his lover level of purposeful unwieldiness.
Looks like Tom's wrong.
Not in it?
I got Antonio Banderas. Gary Oldman.
Not even in the first one?
I'll look up the first one.
Sorry. Or am I thinking of...
But I think these are the kind of movies that you would rail against.
Why?
Because you rail against everything, first of all.
No, that's not true.
Modern.
That's a caricature of my position. What did I say? I messaged you the other day to say...
Quote, make better movies and I'll go see them.
That's a totally defensible position, one. Two, I messaged you to say the other day, like, you know, I have had no inclination to see a movie like The Drama.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in Rennie Harlan's Sharks on a Plane.
Oh, with Ben Kingsley? Sir Ben Kingsley? Sorry. I've got to get that sir in there. I understand he gets pissed.
I've seen him pissed. And it's, you don't want...
something to behold.
You don't want that sexy beast.
No Statham.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go.
So glad I looked it up.
Yeah.
You were wrong.
I was wrong once again. You're once again vindicated. You know modern movies better than I do.
All right, also, I have not heard of The Man from Toronto, but I have heard of War Machine. I think that's a Statham.
No. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. The War Machine?
Not just War Machine.
Well, you said The War Machine, but okay.
I don't think so. Uh-oh. Now I might be wrong. Dennis Quaid. I don't like it already. Alan Richson.
I like Dennis Quaid, I just don't like his politics.
That's true.
And if I judged actors by their politics, I would never watch any of these movies.
That's
this movie's
true.
particularly egregious in terms of the Basque.
All right.
Actually, you could retitle this.
We were both wrong.
You could retitle this movie "The Deplorables."
Yeah.
In fact, you could call it "The Cancelables," "The Deplorables."
The Wayans brothers should get in on that. Be their new scary movie franchise.
Even that joke we just did was too smart for them, though. There would have to be like a fart noise involved in it for it to kind of end up in a scary movie.
Yeah. They're doing another scary movie.
I know. Oh, believe me, I know.
Yeah.
I saw Scream 7.
Yeah. I have my first note for this movie is a thankfully shorter Lionsgate.
Oh, I had a opposite note actually.
Oh.
Because
It's not as long as the first two movies.
But it's somehow more pretentious and less attractive than the one that preceded it. So I prefer longer and better looking than
Shorter and less good looking.
Shorter and more pretentious.
Tom likes his women tall. And they don't have to be quite so good looking, so long as they're tall.
Actually, in terms of women, probably the opposite.
Yeah?
Yeah. Not that I have much say in the matter, but
Yeah, I know that.
when I do, it's usually a short lady. Of age. Just to be clear.
Yes, I understand. Yes. Yeah, yes. We're currently canonizing a pedophile
Yeah.
in cinemas right now, so I get it.
Oh, do you assume he's referring to you? I meant to say on that note, with the "I am the Hague,"
Mm-hmm.
you know, we could have laughed it off in 2014, but now I'm thinking, well, I could totally see Trump setting up his own bespoke version of the Hague, run by Sylvester Stallone.
True.
Who kind of every time he passes judgment says, "I am the Hague." And all they're doing is kind of trying and executing 60 Minutes reporters. I don't understand how that program causes Trump so much trouble, and yet basically he owns that network as far as I can tell.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his main propaganda network, and he's still having trouble keeping the on-air personalities.
The 60 Minutes reporters in line.
It almost makes you feel for him. It's like, fucking how much money do I have to spend to get my own television network where people aren't calling me a pedophile?
All right, well, maybe we disagree on Lionsgate, but we got Millennium Pictures still.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing you know, it's an armored prison transport.
Well, my exact note is cold open of a moving train undercarriage with guard on top of train. Another cold open you can really get behind.
Yeah, exactly.
I was so glad they doubled down on, because the original movie, as we may have or will cover, I think already covered. If you listen to
already
our Patreon.
covered. That'll come out in a couple days.
Yes,
before
okay. So
any
it's-
of these
So
movies.
it's
I think.
this one's definitely out. Doesn't have the Bond style cold open, so I'm really glad that
Right.
by the third film they figured out that they want to double down on this, and I hope we never stop kind of starting midway through the previous operation before the one that lasts the rest of the film. But I don't think Expendables sticks to the formula in that sense either, which is a shame. But
I get almost everything wrong in Forbles.
It's hard to find. I'm very picky about my cold opens, and even within the Bond canon,
I know.
there's only actually a couple of good ones even in the Bond films, which are kind of known for their pre-title sequences. So this pleased me a lot. They got it exactly right. You're kind of picking up at the end of a previous operation, and then the rest of the movie is the following mission.
Is the next mission, yeah.
And for some reason, the Bond films, like, for even before the Daniel Craig rot set in, back in the Dalton era, they've just not been able to get this formula down, and they invented the formula. I don't understand. And there's movies like this that make it look so easy. You go, why wouldn't you begin
why is this hard?
Your action movie this way?
I made a note that said they got their act together because Stallone already has the lucky ring on, and then mentions it, as opposed to putting it on mid-mission.
Or it being adorning a dildo behind a strip club.
Yes, that's not till
after a thumb wrestling debacle. And for those of you who've not seen Expendables, that's not a joke. That's just me describing the events of that movie.
That particular opening to that film leads to a cold-blooded murder.
Yes,
that ends the film.
Indeed. When they start, because as they kind of swoop in from above.
Yes.
I was kind of like, oh, what's their plan to,
no plan.
to get on the train? And then they just start shooting, and again, I thought of Smithers rebuking Mr. Burns for the lack of effort he puts into his evil schemes. When he just starts picking up the greyhound puppies and putting them in a bag. It's like, you don't put the effort into your schemes.
You don't put the effort into your schemes.
I felt the same of the Expendables. I was like, you just start shooting from the helicopter.
What I liked about it was there's and it happens in all of these movies. There's something going on in the editing of these movies.
Yeah.
During the action scenes, in which they really do their best to try to hide the fact that they've given up any thought behind their action scenes, essentially.
Yeah.
Because this helicopter is hovering like 20 feet above the train, and there's like, at one point, there's, 20, 25 guys on top of that train.
Yeah.
And they'll show those guys shooting at the helicopter, but not really hitting the helicopter. And then in 0.05 seconds, our heroes shoot them, and they're obliterated. They're kind of, they can't miss anything, our heroes. And the bad guys can miss them all the time. It's classic kind of 80s action cinema.
It's the, lowest common denominator action sequence, right? It's like, what's the shortest road between us arriving on the helicopter and us getting onto the train?
Yes,
we shoot everyone and we're on.
I wrote down they kill multitudes so easily.
Yeah. It's easy when you have no compunction for human life. It's then being a mercenary is a breeze, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
My next note is that for some reason Stallone looks way more human than he did 2 years previously in Expendables 2. And
I agree.
And I was trying to figure out, is it just losing the beard?
I think it's losing the facial hair. That's my note.
Or did he have work to undo the work between then and now?
Maybe.
But either way, I was like, this is...
his face looks like a face.
This is a more recognizably human Stallone. than we previously saw.
I agree.
And then something that I was kind of worried about, because I kind of knew overall, even though I hadn't seen the films, where these movies were going in terms of diminishing returns. I was like, I don't like that half the team's there, and that it's a kind of shortened sequence compared to the last one. I was like, does this mean that this movie's going to be on a kind of much smaller scale? And it's going to start to feel like budget cuts have hit the Expendables both in world and out. But actually, the movie accounts for all of this. This is part of the theme of the movie, is that not only are these guys over the hill, they're also dying off.
Right.
It's a revolving door, because periodically one of these guys gets taken out and, either mortally wounded or too injured to resume their duties, and that's part of the story. Exactly. And so I was worried at that point, and because I know it's coming in Expendables.
Well, yeah, that at that point, it's like we've just given up.
And I knew that there was vitriol towards this movie, and I thought, oh, is this why? Because it's kind of a shadow of its former self. But
not really,
no,
though.
Not at all. I mean, no, that's what I mean. It's like I was first surprised that they dealt with that in world as part of the storytelling, right. And then I was kind of impressed that, if anything, they take everything up a notch for this movie.
I mean, yeah, Terry Crews is sidelined.
Several notches, too many notches, but certainly notches up, not notches down.
And Jet Li is mostly missing. But we had that in the last film, too, sure. So that's not new.
Mostly. Yeah. Jet Li and mostly missing. Don't miss this movie, because he's barely in it.
They land on the train and they save Snipes.
Yeah.
And then he goes kind of rogue by not getting on the chopper and instead running to the front of the train and killing some dudes and speeding it up like Keanu Reeves.
Well, this is kind of where my theory of triangular address, I think, is most prevalent in the movie. In that idea of, like, you're simultaneously thinking of the character that they're playing in the movie, past roles that they played in action movies, and the person.
The person. Yeah.
And I think having Wesley Snipes being freed from a prison at the beginning of this movie is kind of the pinnacle of that, because
he literally was just released from prison.
Right, that's it. Like, it kind of sets off this chain reaction of thoughts. Yeah. You're kind of watching it going, okay. Firstly, I didn't recognize him with that big beard. I was like, well, it's like. I was like, was this guy like a famous free runner at the time? And then I went, oh shit, it's Wesley Snipes. And then my brain went, oh, well, that's the missing piece of the action puzzle.
Right.
Like, and then my thoughts turned to, oh yeah, and that makes sense in terms of his previous collaborations with Stallone and Demolition Man, which this is also a kind of reenactment of, because he's an escaped prisoner in that movie too.
Right.
And then your brain goes to, I'm pretty sure this is around the time he was in prison. And then you look it up and you go, it was a year before he'd just been released from prison. So all of
the first movie he did.
Yeah, the triangular address is kind of like it's being hit like a cowhand hitting a triangle for dinner, right? It's calling in the city slickers. And that's, like the meta dimension of storytelling is kind of hitting hard and wonderfully here, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Speaking to your point earlier about, when you're getting the cold open right, you're watching the end of one mission and then going into the next mission.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I think this movie does really well is that they film everything about this, including and especially the bad guy, as though he's had a full story before this.
Yeah.
He's watching the train come. He tells his bad guys, like, let's go. Come on, get him.
Yeah.
And they handle everything as though it's the end of a movie.
It feels,
including this bad guy that we have no frame of reference for, but they give him at least that. I like that.
I mean, it's interesting because, you know, it's easy to forget that Stallone is kind of a contemporary of Spielberg and Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have grown up seeing the same serials that they did.
Sure.
And so when, you know, when Spielberg and Lucas do their tribute to serial storytelling in Temple of Doom and Raiders of the Lost Ark, I think Stallone's trying to do the same thing here. We're kind of like, you know, we came in towards the end of one of the Expendables serials, and we managed to catch the beginning of another one.
Yeah. By the way, this whole thing, and there's a lot going on, 6 minutes. 6 minute cold open.
I mean, that's why it's so perfect.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And there's still a semblance of practical cinema in here. I mean, by this point, everything close up is green screen.
Yeah.
But all the establishing shots are still, if not practical, then they look practical enough to, to create the subterfuge.
I think they're flying a helicopter.
Yeah. And by the time you get to the next movie, it's like we're living
hilarious.
in The Sims in the next movie.
Yeah.
It's a completely artificial reality that we're in.
CGI ocean.
So I'm retroactively grateful for the interplay of practical and digital in this movie, even though the balance is shifting in the wrong direction, but still.
Yeah.
We can still look back fondly with nostalgia at like you say, they're really flying a helicopter in, and that is just not the case when the video game characters they are in the next movie.
And of course, we get the button of what were you in for? Tax evasion.
Yeah. Just to make it abundantly clear, the movie knows exactly what it's saying about Wesley Snipes here.
Yeah.
It's, and what's great about this movie is that it doesn't stop there, because it's going to do exactly the same thing with Mel Gibson. It's gonna sort of bat and ball between what's been going on in Mel Gibson's own personal scandals and the character he's playing in the movie, in the same way it's doing with Snipes here.
Yeah.
Well, and between the action sequence and that line, you also get the titles.
Yeah.
The new logo, which I wrote, is 20% more Hot Topic handbag than before.
That's what counts for cool.
2014, maybe.
Yeah.
But then there's, I keep saying I really like some of the filmmaking choices in this.
Mm-hmm.
From Patrick Warburton, or whatever he's called. I've forgotten his name already. Patrick Hodges? Hughes. It was a long journey to get to that, wasn't it? But one of the shots that I picked out was immediately after the titles. They have a kind of downbeat where we get a long shot and a long take of the helicopter landing. And it's just this kind of very elegant, mellow moment. And it's where I first thought, oh, we've definitely got a new director here, and he's got some different filmic ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And we're changing the director every time, I think, for these movies. So
yeah.
When that happens in a positive direction, it's good to see.
I want to say,
I like
Patrick
calm.
Hughes
I like calm, and I don't think even in action movies, there's no excuse for there not to be outbreaks of calm.
Yes,
these kind of little
a steady hand.
Well, it's just like Oasis in the desert, right? I mean, you're stringing together fast-paced sequences. You do need downbeats. You do need some kind of sense of rhythm, and pacing. And again, not enough. Never mind action movies. Movies do that anymore.
Just movies, yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
I haven't seen it yet, but I understand that the new Super Mario movie is like breathlessly
I heard that it's
put together.
like a fever dream almost, like how quick the edits come, and
Yeah.
like each shot is less than a second kind of a thing. Before they cut,
Yeah.
cut.
You know,
It sounds like a nightmare.
it does, yeah.
I can finally say I won't know because I won't go see that.
Well, not even my son wants to go and see it, so I probably won't either. But and I think it's appropriate for this material as well. Again, this sort of the idea of these men that are in the twilight of their lives, or were when the reboot started, and are now,
Yeah, right.
you know, one foot in the grave, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have these reflective moments, because they're getting to the part of their lives where reflective moments are a big deal.
Or should be.
Well, yeah.
Because there's a part of that at the end of this scene, too, when they're telling him he could at least say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all kind of both in-world and out-of-world guys that wouldn't say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if that's intentional.
Yeah.
The out-of-world of like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't have to say thank you ever kind of men.
Well, it must be intentional, because it's on a theme of... one of them mentions spooks, and then realizes that they're talking to an African American and corrects their language, and
right.
So those kind of issues of like antiquated ways of talking, new ways of relating to each other, is clearly part of the theme of this movie.
Sure.
And and this is also where they start to discuss on this plane journey. They start to discuss he's like, where's the old team? Where's everyone gone? And they're like, well,
that was funny to me. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Take a guess. What do you think happened to this team of aging mercenaries?
This is actually the young crew.
Yeah, exactly. And there's real potential there to kind of, if you make the right choices to keep this series going, and for it to be like a revolving door of actors throughout the series, but they abuse that privilege in this movie, and then it kind of bites them in the ass in the next movie too.
In the next movie, yeah, absolutely.
But potentially you could recast these movies every time if you got the recasting right. And in this movie, in terms of the major players, they get it right. It's as the best cast of all the movies, but they can't reproduce that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I made the note, I think, in the last film, of every new person that walks into this series. Sylvester Stallone's like, hey, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And in this series, they go and get Wesley Snipes. He's like, what the fuck, man? You just left me in there to rot. He's like, hey, I didn't know. Second I knew, I came and got you. It's the code of the Expendables. He just knows everyone, including the people rotting in prison somewhere.
Eventually, like, historical truth is going to matter so little to the coming generation that the history books will read that Sylvester Stallone rescued Wesley Snipes from prison. This movie's going to get confused with his actual release from prison, and they'll really
being read by fifth graders in Texas. Now, kids, open up your books to page 94.
What I really liked, and I think what's great about the casting of this movie is that when the new actor comes in, they immediately demonstrate their value.
Yeah.
Is the three-way vaudevillian patter between Stallone, Statham, and Snipes. It's like, I never knew I needed this.
Yeah, right.
I never knew I needed this combination of the three S's, as it were.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I mean, we've mentioned it before, but I'm always impressed with how well Statham fits in with all these, with a Stallone, with a Snipes. Like, he always has great chemistry with them.
I think there is something to be said for being an actor first. Like if you look at and that's kind of ridiculous to say when Arnold Schwarzenegger is kind of the best thing about two of these. It's one of the best things about two of these movies, and I've just seen for the first time Pumping Iron. And there's for many decades this man was not an actor, even though when you watch that documentary, you go, well, it's clear what his second career is going to be just from the way he moves and his showmanships, the way he deals with people, the way he appeals to people. Mm-hmm. He says that weird thing about dictators, which you hope is meant in a historical sense, referring to Napoleon or Caesar, but you suspect because of where he's from geographically might apply to something more recent. I'm surprised that Jerry Brown, whoever was fighting him for the governorship, didn't just play that clip from Pumping Iron
over and over again.
He said he modeled himself on dictators, everyone, and
It was different. It was different because he I don't know. I guess he did have to run, but he replaced Gray Davis. There was a recall on Gray Davis.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. I think Gray Davis got blamed for something he shouldn't have. Like they put Enron on Gray Davis. He's like, what the fuck?
But that's the thing, like whenever they do anything like that, you end up with a worse alternative. So shouldn't that show you that that is really the nuclear option, that you literally, unless someone is like holding a gun to the head of Mother Teresa, you don't recall them.
Right.
And even if they are, you ask why. Why are you doing that?
Yeah, it had to do with the gas and electric because Enron had bought up something and then they were trying to save money, and that's why we were having power outages and shit.
Yeah. Back when we pretended that any politics or politician mattered.
Yeah.
That they're not all slaves to the system that we all exist in.
Well, we could take a slightly earlier break,
okay,
or we can move on. What do you...
Sure. You're in the...
Because I'm kind of at Stonebanks. I don't know. Maybe it's a good place to... What a great name. Stonebanks.
Is that Mel Gibson's name?
Love it. That's Mel Gibson. Want to take an early break then?
Yeah. I think I've got a lot of my money in Stonebanks these days.
Yeah, me too.
I think I was really rolling the dice on those stone futures. It turns out there's not the demand for stone that there used to be.
That I thought there would be.
Yeah. I thought stone was really going to come back into its own, but it never did. I thought we were heading for another stone age, but what do I know?
That's what I was just going to say. I was like, well, clearly we're heading to another stone age. Why isn't this working? It's time for Lizard vs. Wizard. In a brand new action-packed comedy fantasy adventure book written and performed by Christopher John Featheroff. It's called The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards. When her nest is destroyed and her forever mate slaughtered, Zephyr Ignitus, the last of an ancient breed of fire-breathing dragons, gathers together a team of saber-toothed panthers, woolly mammoths, and a crew of howler monkeys, brandishing swords and weapons stolen from the ships of men, all to hunt down and scorch the evil beast-killing wizard that did her wrong. The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards is a fast-paced, R-rated comedy under the cloak of an epic, rip-roaring fantasy adventure. Set in a land of fire and magic, it follows the dragon on her quest for vengeance, as she visits strange new cities and mystical places, all to hunt down and slaughter a demented sorcerer that slayed her mate and blew up her mountain. The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards can be found in ebook, paperback, and audiobook. Try and find it on Amazon or on Kindle. That's The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards. Find it wherever you get the good books just as soon as you can. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here, just getting started with the Expendables 3, directed by...
Patrick... Bridges. Bridges.
Hughes.
Hughes.
Patrick Hughes.
Patrick Hughes.
A non-Hughes brother.
Maybe he has a brother.
He might have a brother.
So his brother is if he has a brother, his brother is also a non-Hughes brother.
Exactly.
Yes. I was gonna say you said we're just starting out, and we've essentially done the part of the movie that Wesley Snipes is in, because he doesn't really feature in the movie again after this.
Oh, he's still around.
He's around, but he's not. I mean, even he comments, it's like, you just brought me back and then you tell me I can't be a mercenary anymore?
Yeah, that's true. He takes a little bit of a back seat, but in this next scene in which we're infiltrating a dock, you have that bit between him and Statham where Statham kind of saves his life. Yeah. He's like, I had it all under control. One of the most fabulous line readings for the whole film.
Yeah.
But then my note is that Snipes is doing an awful lot of parkour and knifing, like 6 years too late for parkour.
And that's where, like when they immediately upstage him with a free runner, and I'm like, one, like you say, it's not the late noughties. Two, is this really getting the best out of Wesley Snipes?
Right.
Maybe they just peaked too early, but you're right. That interplay between him and Statham's great, and then it's a dimension we haven't really seen before. I guess a little bit between Stallone and Statham, but playing off
they get some of that. Yeah,
playing off the generational differences within the team, that they're from different eras of action cinema, and
Well, he and Sly also have that back and forth, saving each other kind of thing too.
Yes.
And then, in addition, they have a who killed who kind of ongoing bet throughout the films. We'll call that one a tie.
Stallone definitely wins that by the end of Expendables when he fakes his own death with the corpse of an innocent man.
Can't wait to get to it.
I mean,
can we stop talking about this?
Sorry. It's the strangest ending of any film I've ever seen.
Any movie I've ever seen.
I mean, when in Vertigo, when the nun falls off the roof, nothing on this.
Nothing.
Up until then, I would have said that's the strangest ending to a movie I've ever seen.
Oh, it's so funny.
And
then,
yes.
We have professional mercenaries here, and I understand that, like, Stallone thinks he killed Mel Gibson. But I just love that, like, this grown 70-year-old man can't hold his rage. Where he's sitting in the on top of that crate, and he's like, Stonebanks! Just gives away the position of the whole team.
Yeah.
Gets Terry Crews shot. Fucks everything up.
But this, again,
so funny.
Again, the meaning of this, it's that triangular address, because when he says, can't be, it's more like saying to the audience, we cast Mel Gibson? I mean, it's trying to. I think it's trying to capture what the audience are thinking, seeing Mel Gibson back on screen following his many scandals.
I went on a real roller coaster ride with Mel Gibson in this movie because I really like him.
He's so good. Movie. He's so. I mean, as no one's ever doubted his abilities, right?
So you can't really doubt his star power and what he can bring.
Even as a director, he's pretty good. He's better than a lot of people who direct movies.
Absolutely. So I found myself going back and forth, and I'm like, everything I found out about this man makes me not want to like him. But I like him in this movie.
But the movie's prepared to deal with that and make it part of the pleasures of the movie by casting him as a villain, which is rare.
That was brilliant,
because because in real life, in his public persona, has gone from being the hero to the villain. So
yeah,
making that part of the story is. I mean, it's kind of like wrestling. It's like a wrestling storyline, isn't it? It's like
It is, yeah.
They're incorporating what we know about them from real life to,
It's when Hulk Hogan went to the heel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. He's because he's fucked up in real life, he now has to play the villain in movies.
Well, he doesn't have to, but it works when they do it.
That's what but in movies that are prepared to deal with the baggage.
Yeah.
And I think what you see with both Snipes and this, and I'm sure if Harrison Ford had done anything wrong in his life, it would be referenced in this movie. Fortunately, he never has, so he's got a perfect record.
No, I still think he should have crashed that helicopter.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true, but I don't think he had famously done that yet, right?
Oh, I think he's had at least one of his 2 or 3 crashes
that we knew about.
2014. I think so.
Oh, okay.
How many times has Harrison Ford crashed a plane? And when? Talk to me, Google.
Actually, it's just quicker if I Google how many times has he landed a plane. I guess maybe even in maybe they knew about it in Temple of Doom, and that's why they have that line about fly yes, land no. But
yeah.
But but also, again, every recast in this movie is a step up, which is even by the impossibly high standards that they set in Expendables 2.
Oh, crashed his plane in 2015.
There you go. It would have been in the movie.
He also had other aviation incidents in 2000 and 2017.
Mm.
I feel slightly vindicated. But 2015, I think, is the major one that we all remember. Because it was on a golf course in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Also, that was a bad year for him because they closed the door of the Millennium Falcon on his leg and nearly maimed him on the set of Force Awakens.
Idiots.
As he tells it. They fucking closed the door on my foot. When asked by Jimmy, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel, he said, "What happened?" He said, "They fucking closed the door on my foot." But anyway, we're not there yet. We're talking about Gibson, and it's a canny bit of casting, not just because of, the added dimension of his real life fall from grace. And kind of making cinematic lemonade out of that. But also because you don't necessarily think of Mel Gibson as action movie hero until you think about it a little bit and you're like, oh yeah, and maybe this guy is he's so much the original action movie star that we've kind of forgotten that, because he's done so much else.
Yeah.
But Lethal Weapon, Mad Max, that's not only the elite.
Put him on the map.
But also the prototype for two totally different kinds of action cinema. One that comes out of the police procedural and the other that comes out of westerns.
Apocalyptic kind of nonsense. Apocalyptic nonsense.
It's even better that you said apocalyptic nonsense. But...
I know. I tried to
Patrick
correct myself, and
Hughes.
then I think I fucked it up a second time.
We should rename this podcast "Two Wrongs Make a Right." So I think it's remarkable casting, and when
I meant to say apocalypso.
Well, you're not talking about the Mel Gibson film Apocalypto, right?
Yeah, that's the joke.
Oh, okay, good. I'm just checking it's a joke, because you just said apocalyptic. That's the stage of recording we're at. I'm just checking it's a joke. So it's thinking holistically about the different kinds of action stars you can get. It's not thinking one-dimensionally about, just getting, as it will eventually do, like, okay, this Thai film was popular, let's get that guy.
Yeah, right.
They're thinking historically, they're thinking multi-dimensionally. They're thinking about someone who's the equivalent of Stallone as well, like actor, director, similar kind of reputations, similar kinds of movies. So that's all going on in this bit of casting, and then when he finally appears on screen, you kind of worry that might not live up to the hopes we're investing into this. And then he pulls up his rifle periscope and he raises his eyebrow, and I'm like, again, immediately demonstrating his value.
Yeah. Shoots Terry Crews and then drops a bomb.
It's like
fucking amazing.
And because that's the other part of, like, getting action stars is there's a potential that you're getting the physical side of things, but you're lacking some of the personality that you might need. And what he brings to the movie is a kind of wryness, which again is, I think that speaks well of him, because everything that you've been reading about Mel Gibson in the previous years before is all very, very serious and dark and disturbing. And the way that the character's written and the way that it's performed is there to remind you that his comic abilities are really strong.
You forget that he was funny, that he is funny.
That's what we've always admired about him. And
yeah.
So it's not only a great piece of casting, I think it's also a great piece of what do you call it? Redemption as well.
Okay.
Not saying he deserves it. I'm saying I think there's a way that, when you see this with Louis C.K. now or Bill Maher, that when they get wind of them being seen in a certain way as, like, the comedian that conservatives like, they play up to that and become terrible humans making terrible jokes. And Louis C.K.'s done the same. He's embraced the basket of deplorables that now like him because he got cancelled.
Right.
And when that happens, you do exactly the opposite. You go, hey, remember why you liked me in the first place.
You'd think, but yeah.
Yeah, but there seems to be the opposite now. Or, if people start to dislike you, you lean into the things they dislike. That seems to be how celebrities do things now. And I think Mel Gibson is sort of saying, well, let's forget all that. Let's forget all the, let's forget everything you've heard. It's like, and he's such a winning person, such a winning personality. You heard it here first. There was that weird turning point where on the Golden Globes when, Ricky Gervais had hosted for several years, and each year he'd made a Mel Gibson joke because originality is not his strong suit. And then finally, Mel Gibson came up to give an award, and they're on stage together, and you leave thinking, and then he has a great comeback to something that Gervais says, and you look at the two of them and you go, well, he's looking more recognizably human to me than Ricky Gervais is now. And then Ricky Gervais goes off and becomes one of the most deplorable people in show business. And we haven't heard a peep from Mel Gibson for several years in that direction. And I'm like, it's all relative, Everyone's on the cusp of being this monster at any given time.
At the same time, I found myself thinking about Jodie Foster because I think right after he was a fuck up when he got arrested originally.
Yeah.
One of his first roles back was in that movie with the beaver puppet that she directed. And they'd known each other even before that. And she said, like we should, without condoning what he did, but I'm not going to abandon him either. Like,
Yeah.
he has good qualities. And so you could see that, like what you're saying at the awards or whatever, you see that happen. You see the things, the comedic timing and capabilities he has even in this movie. And you realize, you know, you can paint with the broad brush like you just did. But people are more complicated than that.
Yeah.
And so you can accept maybe the good and the bad.
I mean, you know,
and
if history's told us anything, just don't invest in people.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to,
They're the worst.
Yeah, but it comes to popular culture, it's like what you like, but don't expect to like the people who make it.
Yeah.
Ever. And that goes for politics too. If we took out liking a person from politics and just said, at the end of the day, did they do the job better than they did it worse?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you have to think about. Not whether you like these people can be eating babies at press conferences.
Right.
And it means nothing.
I remember people were really upset. The thing that people were most upset about, maybe in DC when Anthony Weiner got caught, was they were like, that guy was like a firebrand. That guy could sit in the House and just rail against the Republicans in a way that other people couldn't, and point out their hypocrisy and how fucking stupid they were. And now we don't have that because he had to keep showing his dick.
Well, and half the time it's like, this is just like finding out that they're into Dungeons and Dragons, right? Sometimes it's just like these kinks that you don't share, but they're not hurting anyone. It's just that they're wasting their time with something that's hard to understand why you would waste your time doing. But it means a lot to... Anyway.
Well, let's not stick up too much for women getting unwanted dick pictures.
But what I'm you know, you don't have to compartmentalize, and if you want to say, I abhor them, so I'm not buying from them. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, I agree with that. But at the same time, if you don't invest in them as people, you can really enjoy the work that they do. And, you know, that's why this could be retitled The Deplorables, because it gives Mel Gibson the chance to show the cinema...
Why we liked him in the first place.
Yeah, the cinema audience, why he's such a big star. And you could put Mel Gibson in the movie and people could go like... oh, you know, it could be really underwhelming, but the movie works with him to bring the best out of him, I think. Because he's so winning in this movie. What's not as winning is the early iteration of the Shell Shock soundscape.
Yeah.
And I want to give it a pass because it's early for this. It's not been overused yet in the way it will be.
I don't know. Didn't we get it in 2006 with Bond?
No.
With Casino Royale?
It doesn't happen in Casino Royale. It happens in No Time to Die.
I don't know.
No, they don't. So I think it's an early iteration of that. But what it points out to me is the limits of this device.
Mm-hmm.
It's there to kind of like, to sort of impress the audience as an aesthetic choice. But what you lose is Terry Crews is doing the acting of his life in this scene when he's kind of, you know, dying on screen. Everyone around him is affected emotionally, doing their best acting.
Mm-hmm.
But all we can hear is... Why? Why would you drown that out?
Yeah.
That good work. And that's like every time I see that, I'm like, I'd much rather just see the actors reacting with a naturalistic soundscape around them.
No, yeah, I agree.
Because it's almost like it's like the whole sequence has been bleeped out. And then what really impressed me about Patrick Hughes's...
Hey!
It only took me 20 attempts.
It's the Hughes brothers.
It only took me 20...
I gave you a little...
Yeah.
I gave you a little thing, a little hook.
That's what you got to do with dementia patients. That's what they say. You got to take it back to something that they can relate to. a really great filmmaking choice now that Stallone can't move his face is they do like a slow zoom in on his eyes. It's like it's the only part of him that's moving. Is his
That's still
eyes.
alive.
So the slow, and obviously it's there. It's like meant to be a turning point of, like a point of.
I got to get rid of this team.
Yeah. Did you? So because this was the first time you'd seen this, right?
Yes.
So when you were watching the movie, did you think it was going to be the opposite and he was going to retire? Or did you know that he was going to say, I'm going to do it all myself and get a new team?
I guess I first thought, what I thought was that he wasn't going to quit. And so since he's telling him it's the end, what I thought was fascinating was that he's saying, the problem's you, not me. I just need a new young team.
Yeah.
And I just thought the hypocrisy of that is like ridiculous. Yeah. Like, you're the oldest one out of them all.
It's interesting because
it makes no sense.
They make fun of everyone for their vulnerabilities except Stallone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Stallone's aging is never mentioned. His plastic surgery is never mentioned. You know, his kind of ridiculous behavior is never mentioned. So there is it. As you know, as much as I enjoy that framing,
mm-hmm.
he's not willing to subject himself to the same treatment. That's very clear. And if he did, I think it would take it to another level. If he was able to.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, you know, in character he does at times. Like, you know, there's times when he kind of admits that he nearly
back and forth with Statham.
Yeah, like he nearly lost. You know, like he nearly lost a fight, or you know, if anyone was watching the fight, they'd say
I got my ass kicked.
Yeah, I got my ass kicked. But that's as far as it goes, and it never goes to. It's time for you to retire and let someone else take over this team.
Right.
You know. At least, and that's where I do think something like Star Trek, the original series movies, takes it to another level, because it's always a discussion point.
Right. Yeah.
And Kirk always has there's always a psychological motivation or a rationale that he's saying to himself that he needs to be in charge.
You forget that it's so early, even in Khan, when they're like
Before
all
Khan,
the old jokes.
He's not supposed to be in charge of the Enterprise in the motion picture. He swoops in.
Yeah, that's true.
And he takes command, and everyone keeps saying to him, "It's already got a younger captain. You should not be doing this."
Right.
But it's a discussion point.
It's already
in
got
every
its own
movie.
pedophile.
Yeah, and it's never a discussion point in these movies. And if it was, I think they would be even better than they already are. These movies.
Well, the next thing I know, we have to enlist the capable help of Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, God, I've got way more before. I've got a lot before that because Harrison Ford.
Oh, let's say
the introduction of Harrison Ford before that.
I have Ford after that.
No, he meets Ford outside the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Crews inside the hospital. First of all, Schwarzenegger. We've got so many action stars before we get to Kelsey Grammer, who's not an action star. And it's the part of the... Anyway,
not at all.
We get to that part of the movie and I'm like, oh, okay, so it doesn't matter if you're an action star anymore. But one of the things I really love was the low-key entrance of Schwarzenegger. Like, every time he's appeared in the previous two movies, it's been a big star entrance.
Opening the church doors and sunlight coming in, yeah.
And in the next movie, revealed to be the hostage. So I like that, you know, given the gravity of the situation, like responding to what's actually going on in the story, and also, you know, for novelty's sake, he just kind of appears. And there's there's like an extra nodding to him, which is kind of, it's one of those extras who's like, I'm going to get in the shot with Arnie, because if I'm in the shot with Arnie, I'm in the movie. And he's kind of nodding to him like, yep, I'm your best friend. Remember, I'm your best friend. So I really love that choice, that we go in a different direction with that. And then I love that conversation.
I guess it was low-key enough for me to not write it down, because I did.
Well, then they have the whole conversation about getting out of the business. And it's like one of those conversations. It's like, are they talking about the mercenary business or are they talking about action cinema? Because the same arguments and pros and cons
Applies to
apply
both.
either way. And this is Stallone and Schwarzenegger having this conversation, and it's just again a lovely one of those lovely downbeats where you get to just enjoy their interaction and them talking about their lives and careers on screen.
Sure.
It's great. Yeah, so Harrison Ford is the new Bruce Willis.
He's the new Bruce Willis. He's got his line. I do remember this about you don't have to worry about him anymore. And that's in the context of what's going on outside of the movie.
Interesting. So people didn't like working with him?
Apparently not.
Okay. Did he
did
he leave or was he pushed?
Well, he was pushed because he wanted more money. And it finally got to a point where they were like, we can't give you that much money. And he's like, no, you'll give me that much money. They're like, no, you're out of the film.
All right.
Go fuck yourself.
Well, the fact that they were able to recast him with Harrison Ford.
It's a win.
I mean, Willis must have been like, they're never going to get anyone better than me to play this role.
Yeah, right.
Like, we're casting Harrison Ford. I may have misjudged the situation. I think
might have fucked that up.
But you're just like, how much better is this casting going to get? Like, there's literally no one you would want to see more replace Bruce Willis than Harrison Ford. And then you get the added meta dimension of him playing a CIA agent.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan,
the most famous CIA agent in cinema. And this is so interesting, this scene, because this is like living film history. Harrison Ford and Sylvester Stallone, who I believe have not shared the screen anywhere else.
No, I don't think so.
The two biggest stars of the 70s and 80s, arguably, going head to head. It's just, and you're just like, why is this not important? Why is this not important? And it's not important because it's action cinema, and apparently that's not good cinema. And yet,
right, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and yet these guys represent between them.
You know what I found interesting too is because you take those two things, like the biggest action cinema stars from the 70s and the 80s, and so in that it feels like they should be like have a relationship more like Stallone had with Willis, where it was kind of antagonistic.
Yeah.
And I kept waiting for that to happen. Like, I really thought that Harrison Ford was going to screw him over at some point because of that, I think. That's what I kept waiting for to happen. But it turns out he's just one of the good guys trying to help out.
Yeah, and I like that, I like that variation.
Yeah,
I like
too.
that he's not the bad. Like that he's not the bad guy.
A CIA person could be a good person.
Yeah.
And it's like he keeps that theme from Jack Ryan.
He keeps that theme. Absolutely. It's Jack Ryan coded. And, that, and again, I think it's a shame that they capitulate to that cliche in the next movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a case study in how to age with handsome dignity versus how to treat your birth face as suggestion. When you see the two of them together, and I think Harrison Ford's even older, right? He's older than Stallone.
Yeah, I think so.
But you wouldn't know it from looking at them in the same frame.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite scenes in the movie, before we get to Kelsey Grammer, which is not one of my favorite scenes in the movie, Mel Gibson goes to an art auction and he just starts ranting about modern art.
I forgot about that. I didn't write it down, but it's amazing.
It's like just hanging out with someone's racist uncle. That's what it is, isn't it? They're basically they're capitalizing on Mel Gibson is now the nation's racist uncle.
Racist uncle.
But he's so charismatic, right? It's like when
that
it's
uncle
like when
character
John Wayne
that
does...
Bobby Moynihan used to play on Saturday Night Live.
Drunk uncle. Yeah.
Drunk uncle.
Oh, some of those recordings of him with the policewoman are kind of very drunk uncle. Hey, sugar tits. But it's like when John Wayne does bigotry in movies.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like,
Searchers.
I'm supposed to hate this character.
Yeah.
But John Wayne is selling it to me. It's the same with Mel Gibson, I think. Which is why, you know, casting him as bigots kind of helps restore his reputation, weirdly. I love that they're drinking Eastern European beer in, what's the bar called? Rusty's? Is that where the name of it?
Yeah, that's where they...
Because they film most of these movies in Eastern Europe, and I think they just forgot to like change the labels to make it look like they're not.
I think it's posing for New Orleans, right?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. I assume that, but I don't.
The street sign on the outside points towards New Orleans to me.
I guarantee.
Yeah. It's like an old-timey light with the white sign with the black border.
It's funny because I always assumed it was New Orleans, but I don't think we're ever told that.
No, I don't think we are ever told that. But
is New Orleans a port? Because it's definitely a port city that they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's on the water. There's water.
Okay. Because they're definitely on the water. We see that a few times.
Okay.
It does feel like when they're sat around with talking about, you know, that he's letting them go, it does feel like they are influenced by the wave of the always retiring superhero movie.
Doesn't Stallone say something about Gunner? Like he's got one more chance. He's gonna die if we keep up this life.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like
you're all gonna die. Like on a long enough timeline. You all should be dead already, first of all. And yeah, if you're a mercenary and you just keep being a mercenary, eventually you're gonna die.
Yeah, I
being
mean,
a
they're
mercenary.
already past retirement age when these movies start.
Started, yeah, exactly. You've beaten the odds so far.
And I like this track of, you know, every so often we have to do a spring cleaning and replace the team for humanitarian reasons. It's like, you know, what happened to Terry Crews could happen to any of you at any time. You know, we need to get some people in. I just don't like the direction it goes where it's like it's got to be young people.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't track for me. What tracks is, you know, I'm going to get a group of people that I less emotionally invested in.
Yes, exactly.
But why they would be.
But I think that's part of it. I mean, I got that from this.
Okay.
From Stallone, anyway. I need some people that I don't mind dying around me.
I wish they would have said that out loud, though. Instead of like, you know, we need some new ideas and some, you know, the fountain of youth. I'm like, no, that's not what these movies are about. I can go to any fucking movie in this period and find that. I don't need it here. This is the one place I come to get away from that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
This is my escape plan, if you will, from from those kinds of movies.
I definitely think we don't need 15 minutes of finding the team.
Yeah. There's another great Gibson moment before we even get to Fraser Crane.
There is?
Yeah. Gibson is surrounded by and in love with women. And I just love that. It's like, again, like, because of everything that's happened, just like, oh, I forgot. He was a heartthrob. He's like...
Yeah,
there's that Simpsons episode that he's in that is right before all the shit went down. Where he's making a movie with Homer.
Mr. Smith?
Yeah, he's making the remake of Mrs. I mean, it's prescient. I'll fucking give it that. Prophetic of what actually happened to Mel Gibson. Because it was before he did Passion of the Christ as well, and his remake is all about Mr. Smith with like a killing spree ending. It's just like...
I think he stabbed somebody with a flag
it's like,
at the
how
end.
did they fucking know? The Simpsons, they're literal prophets. How did they know? But the whole shtick is Marge, like, you know, he's the sexiest man alive, and...
Yeah,
you know,
right.
And she said, "Oh, and he's such a good father. Let's have sex." And he's always like, "You're thinking about me, right?" He turns the light back on. He's like, "You're thinking about me, right?" So I love that. Again, it's sort of like, it's almost like they kind of had like an ideas board of like, what do we love about Mel Gibson? Let's make sure the script involves all of these things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you'll be glad to know that my next note is Fraser Crane! Exclamation mark. I just said basically any Republican will do, right?
Fucking hell.
Because the common denominator up to this point is you've got to have been involved in action cinema.
Yeah, right.
So we've changed the terms and conditions so that being a popular sitcom actor who is also a far-right Republican will do.
Well, that'll be okay. It's enough.
It takes a lot for me to sort of not dislike Kelsey Grammer. I don't dislike him in this movie, but I'm kind of as his scenes are progressing, I'm like, this going in a direction I don't want it to go. And I'm not used to like
That's not totally his fault though. The
no.
fact that he's recruiting the young people that's written into the script. He's just the actor in that scene.
And I think, dare I say it, going out on the limb for a lot of bad people in this episode, but I don't even think Kelsey Grammer gets, even though he's been in like two of the most popular sitcoms of all time, it's kind of weird to me that people don't think he's the best thing in both of them. Like for Frasier, everyone talks about the other actors in the cast. In Cheers, people are like...
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, he doesn't get the... And a lot of that is because of his politics, I think, and because of how terrible a person he is to be around, from reportedly. But, the reason Frasier, the sitcom works, the reason
I think I remember Barbara, the interviewer, Barbara.
Oh, yeah, Walters,
thank you. Her asking him, like, how come you kept going back and just doing more cocaine? In one of those Barbara Walters interviews, and he just kind of said, I really, really liked it.
That's the thing about cocaine. It's addictive. It's like Pringles. You can't stop it.
I was like, that guy was honest.
Well, and most drug users aren't, right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember there's my favorite poet, performance poet, John Cooper Clarke, went on like a BBC radio show interview about his life, and he was asked, like, if you were on a desert island, what would be your kind of, what's the one thing you would want? And he's like, drugs. And it's like, famously sober for years. It's like, yeah, but I don't want to be.
Yeah, right.
It's just that when you're a drug user, people are really upset with you all the time. But if I was on a desert island and I had people around me to say stop taking drugs, I would take drugs all the time. And there was a huge backlash to that.
Backlash.
It's like, why is there a backlash? Don't we all know that that's true? Why do you think people are using drugs?
Right.
It's not because they don't like doing it. Anyway. So many hot takes.
I did have a note here that I was curious about. Do you think Stallone dressed himself up to look like Steven Seagal?
Oh,
as a joke.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned Steven Seagal, because I didn't know where to ask this question, because it doesn't apply to any of these movies specifically. From your research,
like what? Yeah.
Was there any talk about getting Seagal? Because he really does seem to be the missing,
the one person missing.
But he's like, not in terms of talent, aptitude, likability, right?
Yeah, right.
He brings none of those things. But
in terms of box office and his importance of that
he's
era of action.
He's the missing piece of the puzzle in terms if you're trying to get a complete set of 20th century action movie hero figures.
Right.
Was there any talk of getting Stallone? I mean, I know...
I didn't read anything saying that they reached out or wanted him. Or that I didn't even read anything that said... People asked why not Seagal, and they were like, we don't want to work with that guy.
Yeah.
Which I assume is what it was.
You got to assume, right? And the other part of it is, I don't necessarily want him in the movie except for completionist. It's my OCD that wants him in the movie, because he can't do anything on the level of the Jean-Claude Van Damme roundhouse kick, right? I mean, what's a slow motion shot of him pushing someone away?
Push.
I mean,
he can turn someone around and push them.
that's just not impressive. But then part of me thought he could play this role.
Oh yeah, Kelsey Grammer's role.
Yeah. Like there'd be some kind of like meta juiciness in him being like in an action movie, but not actually participating in the action.
Well, I could have gotten rid of all of this. And then
he says, you know, him saying these guys are pussies. He could follow it up by saying, "And I know pussies. I am one, for Christ's sake."
I could have gotten rid of this whole sequence, except I do like Banderas faking his way with a fake name. And it's such a terrible, stupid crime because, of course, he's going to be found out. But Banderas is just fucking great in every second he's in this movie.
Well, let's walk through these people. First of all, there's a good joke and a well-performed joke because, you know, it's Fraser Crane. He takes him to the fight. The kind of, I don't know, what is it? Is it like kickboxing or whatever? There's
something.
Two guys going at it, and Stallone thinks he's introducing him to these two guys, and then Fraser Crane goes, "Oh, these guys are pussies." And when he said pussies, my mind went back to my favorite episode of Frasier, where he and Niles tried to write a book together, and Niles convinces Frasier to do it by reminding him that they wrote a school musical.
Yeah.
And then they start to sing it. He starts to sing it to him. Some guys, they go to school, but we think they're all wussies because they get all the knowledge and we get all the... So I can't hear Fraser Crane say pussies without thinking.
Yeah.
Well, the first person they hire is Ronda Rousey. And
they get Glenn Powell first, I think.
Yeah, but, you know... I'm trying to wipe
that.
I'm trying to wipe him from history. So this is my contribution towards that effort. And I thought, well, they're smart to cast from within Bloodsports. That was my first thought. But I just can't believe they're still locked in this sexist cycle of a woman who can be a mercenary? It's 2014.
No, that's not surprising, though.
But it is surprising. It's surprising to me. It's like
I'm saying it's not surprising from Stallone.
But it's Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, she doesn't need to prove herself in terms of fighting ability. And that's what I mean. It's like, if you're going to go as far as casting Ronda Rousey, then that joke is moot. That there were because even in, you know, and they try and dress her up like a sexy secretary who's also a bouncer. Yeah. But you're still looking at her and going, yes, I realize that woman can handle herself. I didn't need a whole scene about it.
Yeah.
To prove it to me. And what is going on with the Kelsey Grammer's fake cancer scare?
So weird.
It's the strangest scene.
Just a waste of 3 minutes of my life.
I lied about that just to make sure you were still human. First of all, I don't think it established that at all.
No.
Because all he did was go, I'm sorry about that, it's bad. It's bad.
Oh, that's
cancer's
terrible.
bad. It's like, cancer's bad is not the same as being... Saying cancer's bad is not the same as being human. That's a given. Borderline personalities can admit cancer's bad. So that's. I mean, that you put it perfectly. Three wasted 3 minutes of our lives. But yeah, I agree with you. The whole idea. First of all, Antonio Banderas as a free jumper is fucking hilarious. Him bouncing about those walls.
It's amazing.
The fake resume is great.
Yeah.
And that also being like, you know, a meta commentary on stunt doubles. right? And sort of because it's clearly a stunt double doing all his work, and then in close up it's him, and they're talking about fake resumes, and I like that a lot. But this is all of these people that they're gathering should have been some version of this.
Of Banderas?
Yeah. His generation, they could have used this opportunity to be like, okay, who's not a go-to action star like a Snipes or a Ford or even a Gibson, but has done a lot of action cinema or done more action cinema than you think. And
maybe they ran out of people.
But no, but
except for Seagal.
But I don't think it's running out of people when you're going in. You're heading in a different direction.
Mm-hmm. Charlie Sheen.
I mean, I think there's lots of there's tons of people you could have talked to, but I think they're interested in going in a different direction. A younger, again, like more technologically minded.
Well, I think
action.
from a story point of view, I think they felt like they had to go younger because that's what Stallone's character Barney thought he had to do.
But that's not what these movies are about.
I understand that. I'm saying he thought that there was a story reason to do that.
But the story is also has to have something to do with the genre.
You would think.
It's sort of like Unforgiven. Let instead of riding horses into town, why don't we go get some elephants? That makes as much sense as what they're doing here. You're crossing your generic streams. Anyway.
Look at you! Look at you!
And there is that.
Excuse me, Egon. You said crossing the streams was bad.
And there is that, when with the action stars that you've cast so far, there's no kind of discomfort with performance.
Mm-hmm.
Even the actors who didn't start out as actors, like I'm assuming Randy Couture was like a sports person before he was an actor. I know Terry Crews was, but he turned to act. He's done a lot of acting.
Yeah.
But
he's on the sideline for this movie.
Well, literally, he's in bed.
Yeah.
But Victor Ortiz and Ronda Rousey, they're not bad actors, but they're also not comfortable doing it in the same way that...
Yes, right. Not as comfortable as a Terry Crews, for sure.
So... And then, if you start to... When you know how long this movie is, you start to kind of... It all starts to fit together.
That's the real problem.
You go, okay, So the new recruits plus new ensemble plus legacy characters explains the crazy running time of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I really struggled with this, and this was when the penny sort of dropped of, oh, I get why people thought this movie didn't work. Because everything before this is the best version of this formula. Of
the series, yeah.
And then it takes a nosedive. And and
it picks back up.
Well, Stallone, I mean, that's what, Stallone historically has done. He can't keep a franchise going without doing taking it in a direction that it shouldn't go for a while. And they do get, and often they get it back.
Mm-hmm.
I guess once with Rocky. Because Rambo, he never got Rambo back from the brink of insanity. He didn't get this series back from the brink of insanity, but...
Well, the movie Rambo is not bad.
No.
But Last Blood...
Well, that's it. That's what I mean, like, yeah. It's But Rocky Balboa is like, right, and then Creed. So you're going from strength to strength, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he's only been able to do that like 1 out of 3 times. That's not a habit, is it? That's almost, you might say, the exception to the rule.
I think we need to take another break.
All right.
You're going to have to pick it up, mister.
It's not my fault that this movie's given me so much to work with. I like to think I know something about beer, but nowadays even I get overwhelmed when confronted by the exhaustive selection of craft beers they have at bars, breweries, and even grocery stores.
Back in the day you had one, maybe two craft beers to choose from, and if you were confused, you ordered a Guinness. But in beer-stinations like San Diego, the craft beer options lately are in double, sometimes even triple digits. So what's a beer drinker to do? You need what I need, the Vegas Beer Guys. Your beer of choice should be a perfect blend of malt and hops. And so a live show about beer needs that same balance. And the Vegas Beer Guys matches beer expert Dan Aker with self-proclaimed beer novice Stephen J. Weiss. The results are eminently drinkable. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram. They'll try new beers, they'll tell you about beer. Think of them as your beer Sherpas guiding you up a foamy-headed mountain to reach the peak of your pint. God, I need a beer.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, trying to finish up with the Expendables 3, the 2014 film directed by non-Hughes brother Patrick Hughes. All right, where was I? So I have this... I lost my place.
Well, I can fill in with my next note if you like.
Okay, go ahead.
When you see Harrison Ford in the side mirror of the car that he's driving in when he takes the call and decides to become a pilot again.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that Harrison Ford looks no different in a mirror than he does in reality. Which is when
Okay.
I finally realize he's the most perfect looking man that ever existed. Not only is the most handsome man that ever existed, he's perfectly symmetrical. He looks exactly the same in a mirror as he does the right way round. He is the most immaculate specimen of man we've ever had.
Look at you go.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's see. I've got Harrison Ford. So this is what I was gonna say. I love that Harrison Ford gives Stallone the coordinates of where Mel Gibson's gonna be.
Yeah.
And they do this great thing in this movie where they're like, this guy has been off the radar for forever, and then surprise at the docks, Stallone's like, Stone Banks, and starts shooting at him. And so he gets word from Harrison Ford. He's like, now listen, we know exactly where this guy's going to be in like 24 hours. But after that, he'll disappear forever. And I just love the idea of like he could drop off the face of the earth whenever he wants, but he just happens to be available for us to get him. He'll be none the wiser for 24 hours in wherever they are, Bulgaria. It's such a great 80s kind of action idea to just sort of gloss over the fact that they need to get this guy.
He's always playing Pokemon Go at this exact time of day.
Exactly right, yeah.
Yeah, why would if he's off the radar, why would he put himself on the radar?
Why would he put himself on the radar?
Time, yeah, that's true.
Ever.
But also,
So
you know, the dilemma as it's presented to us is, you know, it's like this is like goes back. I'm watching a lot of westerns at the moment, and they all have this. Like, when you're hunting a criminal, do you have to bring him in alive, or can it be dead or alive?
Yeah, right.
And specifically, he says he needs to stand trial in The Hague. Before, you know, the twist is, Stallone is The Hague.
Stallone is The Hague.
But at the time, we think it's a human rights court in Europe that tries people for war crimes. And I kind of like this as an inversion of, like, you know, you can kidnap him, but you can't kill him.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of nice. That's a nice, and again, I think it's Stallone or whoever's writing this kind of working with their genre brain of like, what are some of the genre conventions of these kinds of movies, and how can we mix it up a little bit?
We want revenge. That's what we're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Find him, kill him, bury him? Or is it
Find
something
him,
else?
track him,
What?
kill him.
Okay.
Something from Expendables 2, yeah.
Yeah. Should be track him, find him, kill
It
him.
probably is.
Okay.
I'm not willing to scroll back up to that part of my notes.
No, yeah, me neither. Well, the new team gets to meet the old team. And the old team is not pleased.
That's where the previous movie had the edge on this, because we only had one of these guys. Here we've got like 4 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got like a Hemsworthy type. We've got not Tom Cruise. He's just wearing a Tom Cruise mask. That's
Yes.
permanently set to smirk. Yeah, it's I have nothing to say about this. It's kind of, you don't need actual scenes between young and old people to know this movie is about how old people don't understand young people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a given. That's literally what you come in knowing about these movies, that if they were to work with young people, they would not see the world in the same way.
Right.
There is one good line, I think, which is weirdly
is?
from Ronda Rousey, where she says, I think someone says, yeah, it's a pretty good plan. And she says, if it's 1985, I did like that.
Yeah, for 1985, I have that.
I
yeah.
don't know if the plan itself is redolent of 1985 enough to justify that line, but it's clear what we're saying here is that this is old-fashioned thinking versus, skill-based thinking from young people who are both action stars and nerds, which is what that generation doesn't have, except for Dolph Lundgren in two or three of these movies.
But it is a good plan in the sense of push the guy to where you want to be and then lay the trap.
Yeah.
Do the thing that you know will make him
Get
to the place
him
where
to
you need him to
wherever
be.
we filmed A Good Day to Die Hard, and then trap, then one of those mouse trap things on top of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the way that the backstory of Gibson comes out, though, with the demanding to read the file, and you actually realize that we've not given a lot of information about who Gibson is or what he's done up until this point.
Right.
So it actually trickles out in quite a well-written way.
I agree. This scene where they have him on the plane and he starts talking to Sly might be the best scene in the whole movie.
Yeah. And we around this time, we're sort of cutting away to the non-comic Naked Gun 3 montage of the retired Expendables trying to rejoin civilian life.
Old team music montage.
And it's actually, I thought they're going to go two ways on this. It's going to be really affecting, or they're going to lean in comically, and it's going to be like Frank Drebin trying to get the supermarket carts loose. And they go with the non-comic option, and it's really poignant. Watching Jason Statham kind of just playing with his phone, and it's sort of like it's actually what it's, as I know full well, what it's like to be in that situation where you're just like, I had a bunch of stuff to do, now I don't have a bunch of stuff to do. But I really thought they would have leaned hard on it, and one of them would be like, a supermarket greeter or something, or be like,
right,
like a Costco warehouse worker or something like that, or a barista. But they don't go down there. It's kind of like actual drama. If you can believe such a thing.
It's funny.
And again, Ronda Rousey has to remind us that she can take care of herself. Yeah, I know, Ronda. Yeah, you don't. I can't believe you have to tell this group of men that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think every time anyone starts to say anything like that, she should just punch them in the face.
Just kill them.
Yeah. Yeah, she should just strangle one of them. It's like, anyone else have anything to say about my ability to care for myself?
No, ma'am.
And we're heading to Romania.
We are indeed, yes, of course.
As if we weren't already there for the entire movie, but at least
for the whole
in world,
film. Yeah,
we're
exactly.
going to Romania. They get bang for their buck out there in Eastern Europe in terms of locations.
They really do. Yeah. They're finding abandoned buildings and crumbling structures and using all of it.
It's a shame that whatever that economic infrastructure is that allowed them to sort of, make their dollar go further in those parts of the world is completely gone now, because the next movie is kind of looks like it was filmed, in the volume, in a less
yes, yeah, a less advanced
version
volume.
Of the volume.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where I came up with the term euthanizing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in both meanings. Like, we're euthanizing the team in terms of we're putting them down, but we're also getting younger and younger people. Now, I don't know the Fast and Furious films, but from How Did This Get Made, I know that they talk about family a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about it here, that it's like a different kind of family. Was this kind of riffing on Fast and Furious?
I think so.
Was Fast and Furious, had it not got there yet? Where every third word was family?
It's already well established. So not only do you have that, but...
Big family.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think I mentioned this maybe in the ranking episode. This movie especially, Mr. Patrick Hughes seems to be kind of drafting off other things. And so Fast and Furious is one of them with the family talk. The parkour stuff. And there's one particular shot of, maybe it's Ortiz, I forget. But somebody jumping from one part of the abandoned building into the other. Mm-hmm. And it looks almost shot for shot remake of Bourne, going through one window into another window. And then the manner in which the handgun gunplay is happening felt all very John Wick.
Okay.
At the end of this movie.
I've clearly not seen enough of these movies to understand that it's plagiarized.
But it's certainly drafting at the very least.
Well, and again, I think in a non-stylistic sense, the fact that we're using drones and things like that, again, it's sort of like if we're trying to make these movies high tech in a way that they never were before. It's like, I can see drones in other movies of this time, right? What you can't get in movies of this time that this movie does give you is Robert Davi.
Yes.
And you can't get him because, once again, his politics are too right-wing for him to be involved in most Hollywood productions. Not in a Stallone production.
Except this, yeah.
Do you imagine he's like picking up the phone? He's like, "Well, we get you in this movie." He's like, "I don't know, hanging out with all those kind of Hollywood types. That's not for me." He's like, "We got Kelsey Grammer here too." Kelsey Grammer, I'm there. But like going to actual Bond villains, I think is fucking great, and again,
it's wonderful.
He's not your draft pick, right? But
yeah.
Robert Davi, he's got the Bond villain License to Kill. He's got, he's got Die Hard. He's got the resume.
He's Goonies. He's a Fratelli brother.
When you dig in, he's got the resume.
Yeah, absolutely.
And seeing him I don't know, when I look at him, I think the late 80s. That's what the face of the late 80s looks like to me, is Robert Davi.
Right.
Yeah, and I wrote that the far-right politics of all the new cast members cannot be a coincidence.
No.
Stallone knows the worst people.
And then, I don't think Banderas is a right-leaning person, so he has to be the oddball within the group, I suppose.
He's been in a movie directed by a gay person.
Yeah, exactly. So I also love the idea of, Stallone says his old team is just not cutting it anymore. I need the new team. Then he gets his whole new team kidnapped, and his idea is I'm going to go back alone. That's what I'm going to do. He doesn't even think to call the old team or anything, and they'll show up eventually. Yeah. But at first, it's just him and Banderas. That's all he's got.
Well, I mean,
Banderas shows that he's like, come on, I can do this.
But they make it, like you said, they make a big deal at the beginning of the movie about whether, saying thank you.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is like a guy who doesn't want to ask for directions. He's not going to go. He's not going to go cap in hand to the team and say, "I was wrong. I was wrong.
I need your help."
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what's behind it.
It's so funny.
Mm-hmm. And if it was ever a possibility that he would, I bet Stallone nixed it and was like, "No, this guy wouldn't ask for help."
Mm-hmm. Well, luckily the team's waiting for him on the tarmac.
Yeah.
And all is forgiven, and we all team up again.
Yeah, this is the other problem with these, but it's like the blunt force trauma action that we're used to in this series has been replaced by guy in a room looking at screens, right? Which is like, Mission Impossible's kind of split the difference between that. It's an element of the Bond films as well, or increasingly,
sure.
Q wasn't normally tracking him on a monitor, but then Daniel Craig films decided that that's what Q's role would be. But but here it really doesn't belong, because we're harking back to an age when, our action heroes weren't subject to earpieces and men in big communication complexes telling them, the GPS of where they were going.
The next move. Yeah.
So that feels really out of place here. I would just love it if he'd come and unplugged the monitors and was just like, "No, I'm going," or pulled out like a giant, one of those big giant atlases that you used to get on road trips, like a big
fucking Thomas Guide for Romania.
A to Z of Romania. A Gibson
Encyclopedia Britannica.
I love Gibson's
ROM. Here it is, Romania.
Oh wait, they spell it with a U. Never mind. I love Gibson's sassiness as well when he's like, "These are students."
Yeah.
It's like he points out the obvious problem in the movie, which makes me hate the film more, but like him even better.
Right.
And it's kind of interesting, when you kind of work back through Gibson's character, his backstory is like he was a good guy, and then he went dark and became a villain, and it's sort of like, you mean Mel Gibson, or are you talking about Mel Gibson? You're talking about Stonebanks. Which one are you talking about? That's exactly what happened with Mel Gibson.
He has this speech though at one moment, I think when he's captured on the plane before he escapes and the bridge explosion and all that, but he those moments we've said where the bad guy speaks and he's kind of making sense. Now it's not that in this, but
dangerously close.
But it's dangerously close because he says those moments where he's like, one side or the other, what's it mean? We're all doing this for money. Why don't you go for the big money? We're all pieces of shit. We're all killing people. We're all monsters. Why not just be a full monster? What's the matter with you?
For God's sake, Stallone, just settle with Irvin Winkler, okay? He'll give you a generous settlement for whatever you're asking. Stop fighting him for the copyright.
So funny.
I did wonder because...
Meanwhile, Drummer is getting Arnold and Jet Li.
Yeah.
Right? So Jet Li's back.
I'll take The Terminator and Kiss of the Dragon. That's him, right? I don't know many Jet Li films. Once Upon a Time in China, I'm pretty sure that's him.
Kiss of the
Dragon?
Kiss of the Dragon sounds familiar.
Yeah, with Bridget Fonda. All I remember about that movie is Bridget Fonda crouching in an alley and peeing.
Okay.
Oh no, there's one great scene in that movie where he stumbles into a police martial arts training class, and there's 50 police trainees all in karate clothes, and he just looks at them like, okay, well, we all know where this is going. I did wonder whether, because this gambit of rescuing someone in custody on a bridge by the van falling into the water, and then it's like, that's License to Kill. So is Robert Davi like, after the movie, I licensed that. So if you put me in the movie, I'll give you it. That's where my mind went. I was like, this is so License to Kill. I wonder if Robert Davi was like, I own the copyright on this plot device. It's yours for free.
We all know that, right? I am Robert Davi.
And Stallone's
That's
like,
mine.
yeah, I wrote the Book of Cobra. There's a really weird moment when Stallone washes up on shore, and then he, the Gibson's crew finds him, and yet for some reason they don't disarm him, and so he gets to like pick up.
Doesn't he grab a gun off their belt though?
No, it's like.
Or is it the one he has in the back?
I think it's just sitting on the bankside.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, no, the first thing you would do is get him away from the radius of those guns.
Well, that's why they're henchmen. Henchmen they fuck up all the time.
Yeah. But I thought he was going to pretend to be dead. That's what I would have done. Isn't that what a good mercenary would do? Like, pretend that you're, like, a corpse? So they just go,
no.
oh, okay.
That's the coward's way out. Mercenaries
that's
gotta
true.
Stand them down.
Well, mercenaries are cowards, aren't they? Otherwise they would be soldiers. No?
I don't know.
Is that an unpopular opinion?
I think all mercenaries are soldiers that have been kicked out of being soldiers.
Hence Soldier of Fortune, right?
Yeah.
It's not Soldier of Morality.
Ken Wall? I think Ken Wall was a soldier of fortune.
Well, it was a
Or is that
famous
just the soldier?
It was a famous magazine as well, Soldier of Fortune. It used to have advertisements for mercenaries in the back, I believe, like mercenary classifieds for like bounty hunters and stuff like that. I believe. I have a note here. I wish I'd written down the content of the joke, but I wrote Marx Brothers jokes to do with Mel Gibson. He has a Marx Brother.
He does. I'm not recall. I'm not. It's not coming.
Is
to
it
my
something
memory
like
right
you know
now.
I wouldn't belong to a club that would have me as a member or something like that? I thought, but
so.
it made me think. It's like this is what George Burns would have said in a similar. Who, by the way, I realized the other day, reading something online, was the same age. George Burns, when he did the movie Oh God, it's the same age Harrison Ford was when he did Dial of Destiny.
Amazing.
That is incredible. Another great meta moment for me is when first of all, I love that Mel Gibson strings up all the young people. But then they're being forced to listen to him explaining himself about why he's doing what he's doing, and I just thought that's true on so many levels. This is his apology message that he puts.
Doesn't he send a message to Stallone? Is that the moment? Yeah.
But it's like the idea is people have turned against Mel Gibson so much that he has to physically capture them in order for them to listen to him now. And before Barney goes in alone, rather than asking for directions, he does a little mini Rambo mission prep sequence, which I think was great. That was exactly what I want to see. Which is immediately undone because he's fucking straight at. He needs the tarmac cavalry.
Yeah.
To help him. And it's that's one of the things I do like about these movies is that action cinema is kind of the ethos of individualism is there, but this series is different. It's about ensembles.
Right.
Actually, there's not that much space for individual achievement in these movies. It's really about collective logic.
Oh, they go to pains to show them relying on each other. They're
Yeah.
always saving each other's
Yeah.
lives.
So that's a nice twist on it's a rare kind of socialistic twist on the action movie, which is traditionally not of that ilk.
Right.
Historically hasn't really been fond of things like socialism. I wonder if Stallone would be embarrassed by that now, to like having made these movies which are so much about communalism.
Right.
It's interesting.
Well, it's to me, it's the blind spot of the conservative viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Because in their storytelling, they're talking about the socialism within the group itself, of relying on each other,
Yes.
and how that works, and the value of it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't apply beyond that group. It doesn't go into a geopolitical landscape for them.
Yeah.
In that sense, it's evil. Within the group, it's a good thing.
Well, also, I mean, that's the big hypocrisy with the idea of the big state, right? Because what Republicans believe in now is like, they believe in like pure communism, of like that Stalinism is what they believe in.
Right.
Whereas, people like Bernie Sanders are out there as like, we just want like a New Deal kind of scenario.
Yeah.
So it's actually their idea of government is smaller than Republicans, who are just like, no, we want to control if we controlled everything, then that would be more democratic. It's like, that's what Stalin said. You fucking idiots.
Socialism is evil. Have you ever had health insurance?
Unless it's
Yes.
done well.
That's socialism. Yeah.
Socialism, basically, we're not too far off of Republicans saying, the problem with socialism, it doesn't go far enough towards the dictator end of things.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a running gag that Ford has in this movie with not being able to understand Jason Statham, that is one of the funniest things he's ever done.
What's he saying?
He's like, I'm getting every third or fourth word.
Exactly. I get every third or fourth word. I know. I understand he's speaking, but I don't know what he's saying.
It's so funny because it's funny how he never. No, it's not funny how Ford. He never gets the credit as a comic actor that he deserves. Like, everyone periodically forgets how, when he does comedy in his movies, how well he does it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, there's a few actors that's true of, but Ford's, like, when you think about, like, what are some of his best moments in movies? Well, it's Situation Normal. We had a slight radiation, but we're all fine here now. And it's like, that's all him. That's his little, like, that's fucking stand-up routine.
Boring conversation anyway.
Yeah, it's
Luke,
like
we're gonna have company.
And yet everyone thinks of him as kind of dry and serious and grumpy.
I like him on the elevator in Working Girl.
Mm-hmm. Very funny.
He's like, me? Nah.
But it's funny because, I think, like, he's so... and when Force Awakens comes round, his acting becomes so tentative. And yet, 1 year before in this movie...
Well, that's because he doesn't want to be there.
Well, that's right, but he obviously feels more comfortable... If you can put them side by side, he obviously feels more comfortable doing this, what most people would call crap.
Yeah.
Then he does this big movie that everyone's excited about and everyone wants him to play a role again. And here he's like... I'm just playing Joe CIA.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm totally at ease with what's going on. I'm totally, I look so natural and the comedy just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. I guess from a story idea, I understand, like they want, I bet Stallone wanted to give Banderas a serious moment, but I don't need this talk of his past from Banderas.
It's very Puss in Boots.
I can, yeah, like I can guess that that's what happened because you're already giving me that.
Yeah.
In your performance, because your performance is flawless. We can move on.
Yeah. And it's great, you know, that you said you wished he crashed, and that would be the icing on the cake. But let's not forget, we've got Harrison Ford. He's a CIA agent and a pilot, so you've got that triangular dress thing going on. We've got every
yeah.
aspect of Harrison.
Right now,
Ford.
he's Jack Ryan and he's Han Solo. Yeah.
And I mentioned that they always find great locations, but they also find good set concepts. Like in the last movie, we had the what was it, like a nuclear bomb drill version of New York that they were in, right? The
When? Where? What?
in Expendables 2.
They're in the cave and then they're in the airport.
No, that in Expendables 2 when they go to the fake New York that they're in briefly. Don't tell me you don't remember.
When's that?
Where Chuck Norris turns up for the first time.
Oh, yes. Okay.
It's a Russian, like they do the nuclear attack drills, Soviet invasion drills. And here we've got a bombed out casino resort, which is on the remains of Trump Tower remaining.
Yeah, exactly. It's in New Jersey, actually.
I know what you're thinking, Newark. But also, I love the idea that they're fight again, and this is why I wish there weren't any young people in this movie, because it would resonate even better. That they're in like ruins in this. They're all these kind of ruined, damaged people fighting in a bombed out casino resort, and so having these young people here kind of muddies that metaphor a little bit, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think they're playing around a lot in the last part of this movie. It's like the good guys roll in and they find the young kids and cut them out down from their ropes fairly easily.
Yeah.
But that's all part of Mel Gibson's plan to just then blow them away, and that kind of rings true for bad action 80s cinema of like I'm going to lure them into this trap, but by doing that, I double the team and they're all free with their guns to shoot back at us.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of purposeful, I think. I think they're playing around with
it's very
those
unwieldy.
things.
I mean, when they say break up into small groups, I'm like, if you have to do that, then there's too many people in your movie.
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as you wrote that line, you should be like, actually, let's abandon this whole idea of having young people in the middle of the movie.
I don't know. I felt like that was kind of purposeful. I thought they were playing around with that maybe a little bit. Like
if
they
it was
knew
purposeful, they would have had 3 helicopters to take them out on.
That's true. You're right about that.
They're not all
way
fitting
too
in that
many
one
people on that
helicopter.
fucking helicopter. It's like 12 people?
More than that. But there's like 12 people in the original crew.
Arnold takes up 2 spaces.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought of that. How big are some of those people?
Between him and Dolph Lundgren.
You've got to love... Well, first of all, and this is another one of my Stallone notes, where one of my notes counter to, the aging and the surgery. I mean, when you see him just kind of running anywhere at his age, the way
it's hilarious.
Well, no, I don't think it's. I actually am really impressed by it. I'm like, all joking aside.
I'm thinking more of the last movie of that lumbering run into the hangar.
But even that lumbering run is like, that's kind of beyond what I'm capable of now physically.
Okay.
I mean, there's just these moments in his movies, like in Rocky when he beats the Steadicam with his run. He starts running and he's faster than the Steadicam's able to move, and you're like, Jesus. And I just see glimpses of that here, and glimpses is all you can justifiably expect from a man of his age, and he's kind of exceeding that. So, but you gotta love. I don't know. I think what reminded me about what I love about this movie is that they know that when Harrison Ford swoops in on the helicopter, he says, "On your right." The pure Han Solo trench run.
Somebody says in the house too. Like I'm in the house. Is that Ford? Is that drummer?
I don't know. I did wonder whether there was a trench run reference, or whether I'm just massively overreading it, because Arnie says to him, "Where did you learn how to fly?" And he responds, "Trench you're on." And I thought he said trench run.
Oh.
So if that's a trench run joke, it's done with real nuance.
Agreed.
And I think this is, that like...
Man, you're right about Wesley Snipes disappearing, because I found my Wesley Snipes note for the end of this movie where I'm like, there's a symmetry to the action because now he saves Statham instead of Statham saving him.
But again, you can't really complain
moment.
Because then, they one-upped him with Gibson and Ford. I mean, even he couldn't complain that he's kind of outmatched there.
Right.
But it's funny because you're sort of watching this going, I think they matched and maybe even bettered the last film's action movie fantasy camp ending.
I think so.
Solely because you've got Han Solo and the Terminator in a helicopter.
Playing together.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Lundgren,
every 80s kid dream fulfilled.
Yeah.
Right?
Dolph Lundgren gets into a tank like Chewie gets into an AT-AT walker and Jedi.
But it's like, you can imagine a kid in the 80s being like, I wish there were a movie where Han Solo was flying something and the Terminator was in the back shooting with a machine gun.
With the fucking gun.
I mean, it is literally what goes on in the mind of an 80s child.
Sure.
Put on the screen in 2014 when they're old enough to see those movies and appreciate them.
Yes.
It's like, this is for you. This is for you, middle-aged guy. This is for you.
There's a lot of middle-aged stuff going on here because Banderas gets into a fight with bad guys at the same time as Ronda Rousey. And when they're both done killing their people, I love that he's saying, I've been thinking about you the whole time. During the whole fight.
It's very Puss in Boots.
So funny.
It's even a touch of Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah,
I thought he was seconds away from kissing up her arm and then discovering she was a cat. I guess Puss in Boots is like is like an inversion of Pepe Le Pew in that he's actually a cat. But he's trying to fuck, I don't know, donkeys, whatever it is.
Yeah. I feel like I see the end of this movie. I see glimpses of them winking at the jokes.
More than a wink, it's like that wink that you do when your face has a stroke. That's the wink they're doing here. It's the eyes permanently closed.
Well, I mean, like, because I think they're playing along with the tropes of the action movies of the 80s.
Absolutely.
Because I love the moment where Mel Gibson says, how hard can it be to kill 10 guys?
Yeah.
It really made me laugh.
All I asked you was to kill Superman, and you couldn't even do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, actually, that's a pretty hard thing to do if you're not, say, Zod.
Right.
It's hard for Richard Pryor to do. But I love that also Arnie is wearing his Terminator 2 costume.
While yelling, let's get to the chopper.
Yeah. But I thought if they keep walking through the Terminator movies, that unfortunately he didn't make it to Expendables, but if he did, he'd like be in the Elton John glasses from Terminator 3. Talk to the hand.
I think I'm at Stallone and Gibson.
I am the Hague.
Yeah, their big fight.
Yeah, Ford has a great...
Fucking amazing. I am the Hague.
I am
God
the Hague,
damn it.
yeah. It's interesting because Gibson's not known for his... I guess outside of the Thunderdome, not known for his hand-to-hand combat in movies in the same way that Stallone is. So when it comes down...
end of the first Lethal Weapon with Gary Busey, that's a good one.
But what I thought was this, like, well, you might not think of him as like a down and dirty fighter in the same way Stallone is, but you buy that character is.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's why you have an actor. In the end, that's why you have an actor like Mel Gibson, is that he's selling the character to you.
He's selling the character, and he's also selling their relationship, because doesn't he shoot him, but he's wearing a vest at first or something, and he falls into the not so filled pool. But he takes that moment. He knows Barney well enough where he's like, get rid of the ankle gun and get rid of that fucking gun in the small of the back. Like, he knows the man.
Yeah. I'd love it if that was a feature of the casino when it wasn't bummed out. They'd be like, we have a not so filled swimming pool. Why is that good? I don't know. It just won't fill beyond a certain point, and we kind of turned it into a feature.
Yeah. We call it playing around in the muck.
We've killed 12 toddlers.
Yeah. What are you going to do, Romania?
It's what we're famous for. We've slandered so many people and countries in this episode. I don't know if we can release it. This is a legal nightmare. I don't really have much more to say about that sequence. It's
just I am the Hague.
I am the Hague. It says it all, right?
That's all you need.
Best line in the series, I would say.
I think so, yeah.
I think it
but my next note that I put Sly Roof Run is perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Running up that CGI fucking falling behind him roof is just wonderful. That's when you're making bad CGI work.
Well, yeah, but there's a practical element to it, right? It's not Dial of Destiny where you've got, Polar Express going on.
Right, yeah.
And being asked to accept it as an Indiana Jones movie.
I think I read something because he runs off the corner of the roof, jumps onto a rope, hanging off the helicopter, and then he's kind of smoky going through the rope, and he's saying, "Pull me up!" And they're all just laughing at him. I'm like, it's actually a very dangerous situation. Yeah. He's just hanging on a rope. But it's all good times. And I think that scene was supposed to go further, but they ran out of money or something. So it's just like hard cut back,
it's not missing
back to
anything.
the bar.
This movie is not missing minutes. Right?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
The nice way of putting it is that they ran out of money. I think they ran out of time. It's like, this movie's a minute longer. People will riot.
2 hours and 15 minutes, I think, or 14 minutes.
Yeah, I mean that's a drop in the water now for a movie like this, but not then.
Right.
Back then it would be an outrage. No wonder people were turned against this movie. You could turn against it based on the running time alone. I know I did. When I saw it pop up on my Netflix, I was like, this movie's going to have to work really hard to win me over. Wesley Snipes, Mel Gibson, Harrison Ford, I'm back on board.
Okay.
You did the work.
Kelsey Grammer? I'm losing interest.
Well, under normal circumstances, I would be happy to see Kelsey Grammer.
Well, yes,
I do count him among one of my favourite actors.
Yeah.
Just not in a movie which is exclusively populated by legacy action heroes.
Well, Banderas does get on the team. That's kind of the end for me. I just wrote he's the MVP of this movie. He was so funny, fucking start to finish.
Good. Yeah. He goes back to they go back to Rusty's.
Yeah.
The young members of the team sing Neil Young's Old Man on karaoke, which,
yes,
I don't know, this is probably the origin story of the line in the next movie that Barney hates cover bands. I think it all started here. Once he heard Ronda Rousey singing Old Man by Neil Young. But I think the credit check explains why that is such a deep cut, that song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how well known it is. I mean, I adore Neil Young. His entire catalog back.
Even I know that song.
Okay, so it mustn't be a deep cut then. Never mind. That's my that's my test as to whether it's a well-known song or not. If you've heard of it,
I put that. I mean, this is the part for you to shine, but I put we have dog tag credits.
That's my exact note. Dog tag credits.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I love the choice to end the movie on this song. I guess because of the movie we've seen and what happens in it, it kind of has to be young people doing a karaoke version of it.
Sure.
But the fact that we have to do that reminds me of what I also don't like about the movie. It's like hearing young people do karaoke of songs you like. Old songs you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I like the consistency of the dog tag credits, I think. Don't we get them in all the movies? Pretty much.
Oh, really? I felt like this was a little different for some reason.
Maybe.
They're all dog tag credits?
Um,
Maybe this is just such prominent dog tags, like they kind of CGI.
Yeah.
It's like Star Wipe and Sylvester Stallone. Star Wipe
really
and
worried.
Dolph Lundgren.
I was really worried at the beginning of the sequence because they started doing idents for the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, we don't have time for this, guys. This will take longer than the actual movie if we recount every known actor who's in this movie. One of the stunt actors is called Sylvester Sindane, and I like to think he's the non-union Mexican equivalent of Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone. Catering by And Diet.
Oh.
Now that sounds like a diet where you can eat anything you want.
Yeah.
Ice cream and a candy bar and some fried chicken and
Monte Cristo sandwich, please.
well, Monte Cristo sandwiches, as I understand them, are refusal to stop putting things on a sandwich. Right? That's the whole principle. Yes. Like, put some powdered sugar. You've already fried it. It's got meat and cheese in it.
Could you make my club sandwich into a breakfast treat, please?
Could you deep fry my club sandwich and put powdered sugar on it? As long as you don't expect to survive. Jam? As long as you don't expect to survive the experience, yes. It's like, just stop. You could stop halfway through that and you've got a decent sandwich. Anyway, but when I heard Neil Young's Old Man, I was like, that's a better song than we normally get in these movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then, who was the music consultant for this movie? Steven Van Zandt.
Fantastic.
From Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, Silvio from The Sopranos. I'm like,
Silvio,
well,
baby.
That's why. The guy knows what he's doing. He's heard more songs than just The Boys Are Back in Town, you know?
Yes, right.
Steven Van Zandt. There we go.
The Boys Are Back in Town. That's also the exclusive purview of 48 Hours and its sequel. Come on.
And it's a great song. But it's...
Oh, wait, no, that's a different one, isn't it? That's a different... All right.
Have we reached the limits of your musical knowledge again?
Yeah.
You know what was great about that? You knew exactly where that boundary was, and you just stopped speaking. It was great. It was like someone had pulled the plug out of you.
Thought I had a music note. Realized I remembered it wrong. Moving on.
You see, if I was that out of my depth, I'd keep going until I got to a fact that I knew. But you were just like, no, I'm comfortable enough with my ignorance. I can literally just pull a cord and I stop. That to me, speaking of, we talked a lot about masculinity. That is masculinity to me.
Yeah.
That you can just go, you know what? I don't know enough about this subject. I'm not even going to finish the sentence I'm saying. I'm tapping out rather than trying to convince the other person that I know more than I do, which is totally what I would do. And have been doing for, what, nearly 6 years on this podcast?
Oh, yeah.
Trying to convince you that Jason Statham's in the Hitman's Bodyguard's Wife, or whatever that movie's called. I don't even know the name of the movie.
No, I'm pretty sure he's in the second one.
But yeah, I remember a bald head at some point on that poster. That's the ending right credit check.
Really?
Yeah.
I had one that said special thanks to Lionsgate. It was like, why? Like, no special thanks for Millennium? Why are we specially thanking Lionsgate?
I've started watching a lot of famously curmudgeonly ex-footballer Roy Keane, who's just had a movie made about his behavior at the 2002 World Cup. And he's like me, he complains about everything like that, and he's on a football podcast now, and he went on a rant about why do people keep wanting to shake hands with you when you've like seen them recently? Like if you see someone multiple times a day or consecutive days in a row, you don't need to shake your hand every time you see them. It's like
Shake hands hello.
It's like, yeah, I know, I saw you 10 minutes ago. And that's when you said like special thanks to Lionsgate, it's like, but they're the producers of the movie.
There are people like that you work with when you see them the first time you come in to work, and they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And you're like, "Good." And then like an hour later, they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, "We already did this."
It's like, how often does your mood change? Like, how often does your mood change that you need to keep asking me? Like, if I'm miserable now, I'll be more
I'm the
miserable
same
later.
miserable person I was an hour ago. Isn't that clear? All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to tell us what you think of the Expendables 3. So to do that, do all the things I need you to do, that Tom needs you to do, that we need you to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's the X's and the books, the grams, threads.
Sounded like you said Exodus there.
No.
I was like, that should be a new social media platform, Exodus.
Isn't that a Christian Bale movie?
And it's a... Yeah.
I'll look it up between this episode and the next.
Well, I know it. There's a movie called Exodus based on the movie Exodus about the foundation of the state of Israel with Paul Newman. But that's not the movie you're talking about.
No. All right. Or send an email to everythingsequel@gmail.com. That's it. When you hear us next, God help us, we'll be talking Expendables.
Is that, yeah.
It's a
still can't get my
sloppy
tongue
mess.
still can't get my tongue around it. And dare I say, that's not my fault.
No, not your fault at all.
Why am I trying so hard to get that right?
And you know that I want to blame you.
Say it again.
Expendables.
Expendables. Okay.
That was fun to listen to.
Expendables.
All right, that's it. That's what we'll be talking about next time. Say goodbye to everybody, Tom.
Stop mumbling.
Perfect.
That's
We're
almost
done.
as good as his line read from Crystal Skull. Part time.
Yeah.